I not too long made a video. It's titled Time and Healing. It got a lot of views, but there was a few people who had told me that there was a lot of good information in it in terms of how to deal with the workplace, of how people try to sabotage your efforts and everything, and the whole process of time having a healing element in it and everything, you know. But they were saying the only thing that they found kind of uh, annoying or even disturbing about the video was the background music that I put behind it. And so I'm not a man who gets easily emotional, like, so I said, okay, well, I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to observe, and I'm going to shut everything down inside, and I'm going to observe the video myself as if I didn't produce it. And so when I sat down, and I did feel strained and a bit distracted when it came to the background music that I put behind it. So I re-uploaded it, and I put some more pleasant music behind it. And I'm hoping that this is a better upload for you guys. And I thank you for all the good messages that I got from those. You know, I would just only ask you guys to start making comments on the videos, instead of sending me all of the email. Now, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the feedback in terms of the emails, but it would help my YouTube channel out a little bit more if a lot of you guys would start at least commenting on the videos. I mean, even if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I would rather start hearing from you guys a whole lot here on YouTube as much as I hear from you on Facebook. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and redo the video and re-upload it. And I'm going to put this right before it. Okay? I appreciate all of the feedback.
What is hurt? I'm going to go into it. Don't go verbally, but actually look at yourself and go into yourself. You are hurt. Your parents hurt you when you are a child. Your friends when you are a child or a boy hurt you psychologically. Then in the school they hurt you by saying you must be as clever as your brother or your uncle or your headmaster or whatever. You must, and then college you pass exams, and if you fail you're hurt. And if you don't get a job you're hurt. Everything in the world is put together so that it hurts you. Our education, which is so rotten, hurts you. So, you are hurt. Do you actually realize that you are hurt? And see the results of being hurt. You don't want to hurt others. From that arises anger, resistance. You withdraw, become more and more inwardly separate. And the more you are inwardly separate, withdrawing, the more you are hurt. So you build a wall around yourself and pretend that you are very, but always within the wall. These are all the symptoms. So you are hurt. And if you really, deeply realize that you are hurt, not only at the conscious level, but deep down, then what will you do?
You know, I created this YouTube channel. I've been on YouTube since 2007, but not too long ago, I believe it was the year 2019, I had decided to start putting videos up here on YouTube, because back in the day, YouTube used to be a whole lot of fun. It used to be a lot of fun. But when they had changed YouTube, a lot of people left YouTube, and then they came up with Facebook. Not the YouTube people, but Facebook hit the scene. And so a lot of people left YouTube because YouTube just used to do better. I mean, it used to be fun. You know, you had the opportunity to come in contact with a lot of brilliant and even fun people. You know, I know some people who met their life partners right here, you know, on YouTube. I come in contact. I've made a lot of good friends on here. But reason why I bring that up is because primarily my YouTube channel is about healing and restoration. And so I wanted to address an issue. It's based upon my past 2 videos, but I'm coming at this in not any type of angle. I'm coming at it as the way it is. And so, you know, when people betray you and you decide to distance yourself from them without cutting them completely off, because when you're in pain and you feel betrayed, the reason why you feel betrayed is because the root of that betrayal is not only disappointment and hurt, there's love present. And simply because there is love present, a lot of people don't understand that's where the pain and disappointment emanates from. So whenever it's like that, you have to understand the reason why these people are distancing themselves from you. I'm talking about the people, I'm talking to the people who have inflicted harm on other people who they've betrayed. So I'm talking to people as yourself. Now, people can say, oh, he's judging and all that. I really don't care. I really don't care. Okay, because like I said, I'm dealing with the people who have betrayed others that they were close to. I'm talking to people on that level. Now, people say, well, nobody's perfect. You know, you're talking about everybody else and nobody's perfect. You know, number one, none of us really know what perfection is because we've never seen it. And due to the fact that, well, we've actually seen it, but in this Western society, perfection has become a point of view. The same as good and evil point of views, perfection point of views. So we're talking about an individual perception and feeling of what is perfect to the individual. But real perfection is something that is living and moving. If you want to really know what perfection is, either go to a place like Mount Charleston and watch the sunrise and just pay attention to everything, the trees, but watch the sunrise. Or stay up there for a couple of nights and look at the night sky and the universe and everything. That's perfection. You're going to be looking at something that is living and moving by way of the Creator's presence. And when you observe that, you're not going to be able to compare what you're looking at to anything of the past. Perfection is something that is living and moving, something that is alive, something that you can't compare anything to, or you shouldn't compare it. Because if you compare it to anything, it means you're living in the past, and you put the screen before you and you're looking at something that is living and moving, that is actually in perfection through a screen of the past. So get rid of the comparison. Get up in the morning, go watch the sunrise. And what you're looking at is a living presence, which is the very essence of the Creator itself. That is perfection. But in the Western world, perfection has become a point of view. It's like if you watch a movie and you say, wow, that movie was perfect. It was perfect to your point of view and the way that it made you feel. And you have that right. I mean, if that movie was perfect for you, good for you. But it necessarily won't be perfect for others. That's just like not too long ago, this woman that I'm dating right now, her name is Queenie. She's into art. And I thought that they didn't have any art galleries out here. So she told me, yeah, there's an art gallery. And so I went with her because I enjoy art myself. And so when we went to the art gallery and saw all of these beautiful paintings, I heard her say a couple of times, this painting is perfect. Look at this painting, David. Isn't this painting perfect for you? And I looked at it and I'm like, I'm just going to accept this painting for what it is. I don't really, this is something that's tangible and it's not moving, but it is a beautiful painting. And I don't know enough about the person who created it. It could be perfect for them. And this is the reason why they chose to end it and display it. So what I was explaining to her, that I don't know enough about art at this time. And I don't know enough about its creator to perceive it like that. And so when I told her that, she understood it because she knows a whole lot about this particular artist who created it. And she said, the reason why I say it's perfect, not only because it's perfect for me, but the artist who created it, I understand her. I understand it. I'm like, okay, I get it. I totally understand that. And you hear a whole lot of Christians say, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But don't your book say that you're perfect? You're perfect and wonderfully, made. I believe that's in the book of Psalms. Then it also says, be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is also perfect. So you have the ability to be perfect. When it says be ye therefore perfect, it's implying that you are not individually to yourself reaching your apex of perfection that the Creator imbued inside of you. And so everyone has their own perfection unto themselves that the Creator gave them. And so when you have people who are very decent and they're always looking at themselves and observing themselves, and they're living their life upon a path to where they notice certain things about themselves, and each day they die to those particular things. And so the way that they carry themselves, they're moving forward, living, and they're dying all at the same time of things that they found inside of themselves that are imperfections. You know, there's a saying that I never agreed with, and they said, practice makes perfect. And I don't particularly agree with that, because you're doing something in a repetitious manner. Practicing makes perfect. So you're basically saying, during the course of this practice, this repetitious practice, you are in a state of imperfection. And this is a repetitious thing that you're doing over and over again until you reach perfection. I've never thought that if I'm continuously doing something repetitiously that is imperfect, how can I reach perfection if I am consistently and repetitiously repeating an imperfection? So what I'm saying is, what a lot of people fail to understand is that you cannot reach perfection by way of repeating imperfection. The only thing that you're going to reach through imperfection is that you're going to become perfect at being imperfect. So you have to be very careful utilizing that word perfect, unless you understand exactly what perfection is. We have the potential to reach our own state of perfection, individual perfection. And so when I hear statements like that, nobody's perfect and all of that, you're just giving yourself an excuse to continue to execute imperfection, because you don't work on yourself enough to reach your own individual apex of perfection. And so this is why the Creator imbued in Jesus' mind for him to say, be ye. He's telling you that you can be this. Therefore, perfect as your Father who created you in his image and his likeness, even though you are an individual, as your Father in heaven is also perfect. Well, what does also imply? Is that you are an extension of a Creator who is perfect. And due to the fact that you are an extension of a Creator that is indeed perfect, you have that potential also to reach your individual apex of perfection. So I think that what we need to do is concentrate on ourselves. And when we listen to people, as myself and other people, point certain things out in others that could be improved, that doesn't imply that we're judging and condemning someone. And if we are judging and condemning someone, that's our problem, it's not yours. Now, after saying all of that, the reason why this video is being made, and I said that it's based upon my past 2 videos, is because those who betray you, you will find these people after you've decided that it's best for I to keep my distance. See, what they don't understand is that betrayal is a very serious thing. You can insult me all day long. You're not gonna move me. Okay, I come up all my life with people insulting me. So I've had a lot of practice in that area. That's part of the fire that I went through. Okay. So you have people who insult you, make fun of you. Then you have people who offend you to where you take it emotionally and you want to strike out. And then you have people who betray you because you give the very essence of your goodness to them. And due to the fact that they are ambitious and they want something for themselves to uplift themselves and put themselves in a better place financially, or they thought intellectually and even emotionally, they felt that they had to betray you in order to get there. And so when you feel as though you have to keep your distance from someone, it's not necessarily only that you're disappointed and angry with them. You're trying to preserve your peace of mind because you're in the process of healing from being betrayed. And so what is beautiful about people who betray others is when they come around you and they feel the need to want to talk to you, because obviously they may feel bad about betraying you, which implies they have a conscience. But see, what they're going to have to understand is that when the other person is betrayed, you have to give them time to deal with the effects of betrayal. You have to give them time. And the reason why time is such a beautiful essence, you might as well say, or entity, same thing, that the Creator created, is that time has a healing element in it. It has a healing ingredient in it, to where the first day of betrayal, and as you go through betrayal, each day, each moment, you might as well say, the pain gets lesser, the pain gets lesser. And what you don't need is someone who is guilty of that betrayal, who feels bad about what they did because they see the way that it had affected you, or they feel bad that what they did in darkness was revealed through people who they felt like they could trust when they was bad-mouthing you and all of that. They find out that these people don't have a problem with you. And so this is the reason why certain information gets back to you. Now, the reason why I say there's beauty in this is because even though they felt like, I don't care what I have to do, I don't care who I have to hurt in order to get what I need, once they get what they need, that's when they find out that, okay, was my drive during my ambitious moments worth losing someone in my life that had good intentions towards me? Then that's when humanity becomes a factor in them again. Because now that you have it, you are not at peace. And now you expect the person who you betrayed to listen to you immediately because you feel bad. It is a good thing that you feel bad for what you did. It means you still have a conscience. It still means you have morality inside, and it still means that there's love inside. So that's a good thing. But what has to be respected is the people or the person that you hurt. They need time to heal from what you did to them. And the most respectful thing that you can do is not impose yourself during their time of healing. Because when you impose an issue on them that they don't feel that they're able to talk about, then you're doing them more harm, because they're not ready to talk about it, because they're still hurt. They could be angry. And when you impose yourself on people, there's a very good chance they don't want to talk about it, because they feel that you're not going to do anything but deny what was gotten back to them. And they want their healing to be as they arranged it. Give me time. And, if I decide to communicate with you again, fine. If not, that's going to be fine too, and you're going to have to accept that. One way or the other, when you hurt people and you betray people, you have to give them time to heal. And so during the time of healing, some people are not at that point to where they've reached that time that they're actually able to be rational. But when people feel betrayed and they're hurt and they're angry, and the reason why they've chosen not to speak to you is because they don't want to make the mistake and allow you to converse with them, because they do not want to be a victim of betrayal simply because you came in and you persuaded them that what was said was not so. Yeah, but when I said that, I didn't mean that, I meant this. So you have to give the healer time to decide if they're going to continue to associate themselves with you, because they're looking out for themselves. And therefore, they are in the process of getting their peace of mind back. And they have not yet decided if they're going to allow you back into their lives again, so that they won't be at risk of you betraying them again, to where their peace of mind is no longer with them. Now, like I said before, it's good that you're hurt or disturbed for what you caused in another person's hurt, and you disturbed them. It's good. It means that you're actually able to resolve it, but you can't resolve it with them until you've resolved it with oneself. It starts with you. Now, people may say, oh, you're judging. Look, let me tell you something. When I brought up the 9 different women that I was sleeping with when I was a bus driver, even though those women said that I didn't hurt them when I went back and I had apologized for them for my actions and for my not caring how what I was doing with them caused them to feel. Even though the majority of them said, I enjoyed you, David, don't worry about it. Okay, if that's the way you want to perceive it, obviously I can't change that, but I'm not right with it. So this is the reason why I had to apologize to them, because I didn't have any peace on the inside for my past actions, when the Creator opened up my mind and told me that despite how much pleasure you was getting from these women, you need to know how much harm you were doing them. So when you come to clarity about something and the Creator says, go back and resolve your differences with them, because even though these women didn't have anything, bad to say about me or anything, I was risen to a level of, I was risen to clarity, to where once you are given clarity of something, you're responsible. Because unless you go to them and explain to them how you currently understand the situation, you're not going to have any peace. So you have to go back and look at these people as a priest, and you're going to confess them your faults, and you're asking them to forgive me for my past ways, for my past thinking, for my past warped perceptions and things like that. The point that I'm making is, when you hurt people, give them their space. When you betray people, give them their space. If they decide not to speak to you as yet, have enough love and respect for them to accept that, because it's just not time. It's just not time. They're dealing with things. And because of the things that you cause in their lives, it's affected their lives within that environment. Because the people who you talk to, in order to hold that person's life hostage for the next 3 to 6 months, these people are saying certain things, and these people are doing certain things that they think subliminally is getting to the person who you hurt by way of your betrayal. So when you have a person that's working in that type of hostile environment, and you want to talk to them and resolve it, it's too late. I'm dealing with what you've caused in my life. I'm dealing with that. So it's best that you back off. It's best that you back off. Because going through a healing, all we know is I'm healing right now. And so my mind is focused on this healing. So that person doesn't need anyone coming in trying to talk to them, because he's not going to see you as being honest, even though he recognizes that you do have a conscience. Okay? And that's the reason why you want to talk to him, but all at the same time. Right now, he's not trying to hear you because the trust issue has come up. And he's not a man who deals with trust. He doesn't deal with trust. And when it comes to betrayal, he doesn't forgive betrayal. No matter what you say, well, if you don't forgive, then God ain't going to forgive you. All right, then send me straight to hell then. Because I can forgive you for insulting me. I can forgive you for offending me, but I'll never forgive you for betraying me. Like Brother Malcolm said, and I'm not under the influence of Brother Malcolm X's perception. It's just that I understand why he said, I just can't perceive betrayal. I can't forgive people who betrayed me. So during the time element of healing, once the conclusion, allow these people reach a conclusion of how the betrayal affected them, and allow them to decide themselves if they are able to maintain a friendship with you or even a working friendship with you. Allow them time to decide if they're going to continue with you or not. And don't allow yourself to be used by your massa to keep pairing you with that person just to see how you're going to, this person's going to react or respond to you. Because I still see that. I'm not stupid. Give this time for the person to heal. Because time has a healing element in it. And everybody heals during their individual times. And during the time period, they're going through their mind and they're dealing with their hearts. because now they feel as though they have to protect themselves from you. And that protection goes into a lot of areas. So if they decide to be silent towards you, they're trying to make up their mind if they're going to continue a friendship or a partnership with you, especially in the environment. See, because when you're in the working environment, you have to maintain yourself, and you have people trying to pick at you in the working environment, which is very dangerous for them, because if they keep picking on you, saying certain things about you that are false, you don't know what state of mind this person is in. That's the ignorance of people who are, quote unquote, messy. They're messy people. They want you out, and they're pissed off because they don't have anything on paper to do it. This is the reason why a lot of these plantations will pull you into a little deceptive type meeting, and they want you to resign. Never resign from your plantation. You might as well say, I'm just gonna say it what it is. See, because when they ask you to resign, it only implies they don't have anything on you to terminate you. They don't have anything on you. They just want you to resign because they don't like you. And they will either, and they will even say, well, a lot of people here feel uncomfortable around you. However, the only people who feel uncomfortable in your presence are the people who are doing you wrong. And see, they are afraid that something's going to happen to them through you. And they're looking at you in a reflection of how they see themselves in terms of what they know that they deserve. But you're not going to get me to react. I'm going to respond because I'm an intellectual man. I'm not an emotional man. You can't hurt my feelings. I don't have no feelings. I've been through the fire. I've been purged of those type of feelings. You can't set me off. There's nothing that you can say or do that's going to set me off. I've been through the fire. You can't set me off. And you have to stop playing those type of games with people. Oh, I'm going to say something, I'm going to make him go off. Okay, now if he does go off, what are you going to do about that? If he does go off, if he does make that ultimate sacrifice in saying, fuck it, I'm just going to just do what I have to do, what are you going to do then? Because you better believe there's a very good chance that you're going to be a part of that sacrifice. And then you're going to be looking at him as the enemy, when all the time it was you. Give a person time to heal. Give a person time to decide if they want to continue to communicate with you. Because people are trying to live their lives in peace. And you have those people who are in these plantations, and then they're in their little petty power positions, and they think that they can just push you, put people around you as little microphones, you know, keep you under surveillance. What'd he say? Did you enjoy working with him? Yes. He all right? Mm-hmm. You're seen, so don't think you're not seen. And as I said again, when a person is going through the effects of betrayal, going through something implies time. Give them time. But what you are going to have to understand is that now that you've gotten your position, ask yourself, how come I'm not at peace? How come I'm bothered by the person who I betrayed? now that he or she is no longer communicating with me, after those other people around me have revealed me and my intentions to he or she, how come I'm not at peace? Now that I got my promotion, I'm still not at peace. Now you understand the price that you pay for betraying people who loved you and who's in your corner. Now you have to suffer them not speaking to you because they're going through a healing period. Now you need to give them time to decide if they're going to continue a brotherhood or a partnership with you or not. Stop interfering in people's lives. And now you're trying to interfere in their healing. This is the price that you pay from being indecent. Now, I was talking about earlier, the whole perfection thing. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, but that's no excuse for you to be indecent to society. You still have to be decent. And leave your perception of what you think perfection is to yourself. And stop comparing other people to what you think perfection is. See, because you have this image to your individual understanding of what perfection is supposed to look like to you. And then you put that screen before everyone else and you try to determine if this person is perfect unto you. And then when you see their reality, you perceive their reality as imperfect. And so you say, well, nobody's perfect. How come this person is not speaking to me anymore? Because, as I said before, you have this perception of what you think perfection is. And so due to the fact that their reality doesn't go in harmony with your perception of what perfection is, now you have a problem. Oh, there's something wrong with them. And then you look at yourself, well, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Simply because you created something, or like a brother who I was working with tonight, you signed a check that your ass cannot cash. You did some dirt and you thought that it was going to bring you peace, but it didn't. So now you have to pay for that. And so you can't go to that person, hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, bro, I didn't say that. No. You got to stay away from them, because if these people or this person is no longer communicating with you, respect the fact that they need their time to determine if they're going to continue a brotherhood or a partnership with you. You can at least respect that. You have to live with what you did. And this is why I tell people all the time, the way you treat others is the way you treat yourself. So don't think that you can do dirt to somebody and it's only going to affect them. If you do have a conscience left, you better be aware that if you have a conscience and you still got some morality sitting up sitting inside of you, don't think that you're evil inside. It's not going to be questioned by your morality inside. It's called the conscience. You have to live with that. And you have to give this other person time to heal of the evil and the corruption that you've caused in their life. And they're not going to allow you to interfere. You know, because you just may interfere at a moment to where they're just enraged about what you did. And they're staying away from you because they know their internal status. So it's best that you leave them be. And you deal with the evil that you've done. You need to look at yourself. So the reason why I made this, I thought this video was going to be shorter than this, but the whole thing is, understand that when you betray others, you betray yourself. Don't think that they are the only ones that are walking around in pain and humiliated. Because if you don't want to feel anything on the inside by way of betraying others, then don't do it. And the reason why you are the only one walking around feeling like that, and the people who you were working along betrayed him, I need you to observe them, because they ain't feeling nothing on the inside. And so you were dealing with demons, snakes, and devils in order to get in your position. And now that you've got it and you don't have any peace, now you worry. Now you finding out that you didn't only betray him, but you betrayed yourself. And simply because he don't want to speak to you, because he's in a position to where he's trying to heal from what you did, don't think that he's not observing. Because now that you're offended, how come he don't want to talk to me? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue to communicate with these people who helped me put him in the position that he's in. Oh, you don't want to talk to me? Okay, well, I'm going to converse with these people. I'm going to laugh with the people who I, got together and betrayed you. You're being watched. And you're helping him make up his mind if he's going to continue with you or not. Because when you converse with devils, the only thing that you're showing him or her is that they should have never became friends with you in the first place. So your betrayal of them was going to happen in Adam, because you're no different than the devils who you hang out with. We're dealing with ambitious people. Stay away from people who are ambitious. People who are ambitious, they don't care nothing about you. And they will throw anybody under the bus or throw anybody off a bridge in order to gain something. Even if they have to betray you and humiliate you and turn the entire environment against you, as long as they get what they want, they don't care nothing about you. So this is why I say, when you go to these plantations, don't go there to make friends. Don't go there to make enemies. You just go there, do what you're supposed to do, go home and invest in your life. And when you reach the success outside of the plantation, you make certain that you keep those type of people out of your life. Focus on your own success. Focus on yourself. Focus on your family. Invest in yourself and be very careful of the people in whom you come in contact with. And the people who you come in contact with, you make certain that you get those people out of your life, out of your lives. Don't take any of those people with you, not even through your craft. Myself as a writer, I can rewrite all that stuff. I can get your ass right out of there. It doesn't matter, because I'm not taking you with me. Because you ought to be happy where you are, right? So when you make up your mind on what you want to do with your life, I'm talking to people in general. Work, whatever you are into, whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's art, whatever that you are writing, whatever your craft is. You don't work strictly for the plantation. Make certain that you utilize the plantation to invest in what you're God gift is. Because simply because you're on the plantation doesn't imply that you have to die there. For a lot of times I've seen people, when I was working in these casinos, they worked all the way to their grave in these casinos. So you mean to tell me the Creator created you to live your entire life based upon someone else's cultivated institution and not what you were actually put on this earth to do? Find out what your gift is. Find out what your purpose is. Use these plantations, you make your money, and you invest in what you were put on this earth for. And you go from there. Okay? Invest in yourself. Invest in your craft. Become free from this system. You know, like Yeshua said, you render Caesar's that which is Caesar's, and you render God that which is God. Rendering Caesar of what is his, you know what I mean? Just pay your taxes. And rendering God what is God, that means your individual gift to this planet. So the only thing you have to do, as long as you paying your bills, you paying your taxes, you straight. But take some of that money and invest in yourself, because that's what I did. Invest in yourself. And get off of these plantations, because ain't nothing good about them. Ain't nothing good about them. All they want to do is use you, work you until you're dead. But when I pass away, you ain't gonna find no work uniforms in my presence. As I told my mother, when I check out, they're gonna find me slumped over my computer. And I, as James Baldwin, checked out of here. I was currently working on something when this heart stopped beating. Die doing what your God gift is. Don't go to your grave, and then the next thing you know, the plantation is putting up your picture on the wall, because the last thing that you was doing was working for Massa. Invest in yourself so that when you leave here, you were doing what you love to do. So with that being said, this is the last video that I'm going to do on that particular subject matter. And everyone find out what your gift is and invest in it. Because it doesn't make any sense if you're going to be working for these institutions and you want to write, you want to sing, you want to do art, you want to do whatever you put on this earth to do, you find some way to invest in yourself and get out of the system. With that being said, everyone have a beautiful evening. And everyone, as I said before, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter how much they betray you, you remain human. Maintain your humanity. And don't allow people who are inhumane turn you into them. With that being said, everyone have a good evening.